Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 360. In this episode, you're going to hear 3 reasons why Sherri-Lynn Starkie is so badass. Last episode, you heard from Sherri-Lynn and really about her bold, self-reliant, confident self and how she got this from childhood. She got this from her parents. It was so good. So definitely jump back, listen to that. And today we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty and talk about 3 reasons why Sherri-Lynn Starkie is so badass. With that, let's get to the episode.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to share 3 reasons why Sherri-Lynn Starkie is so badass. Now, Sherri-Lynn, she's a badass because she used her struggle to help other people. Number 2, for finding new friends. And number 3 is for her self-reliance. So let's just dig into it. So Sherri-Lynn used her struggle to help other people. She was struggling. She was 59, about to turn 60, and she's like, wait, I don't even feel like I did everything in my 50s yet. And so she started wondering, okay, what do I do? And she ended up starting a podcast for 50 over 50. So she interviewed 50 people, I believe 50 women, and talked to them about their experience in their 50s. And that struggle helped to propel her forward. It helped her to go into her 60s no longer fearing, fearing the aging process or fearing what was ahead because she knew she would be just fine. Her life wasn't ending. It was just starting a new chapter. So she could still do the things that she wanted to do. And I love this quote by Zig Ziglar. It's like, you can have everything in life you want so long as you'll just keep helping enough other people get what they want. And that's kind of what happened to Sherri-Lynn. She was struggling with this thing with 50 over 50, so she put it out there and she started that podcast and she started helping other people to express their voices. And then also she's helping the listener because they hear it and they're like, oh yeah, I feel that too. Okay, I'm not alone. And so by her doing all those interviews, she said it took her a year to do 50 interviews of women over 50. And then she realized, wait, I can do this. I can get through this. It came because she helped other people. It came because she vocalized what she was going through. So often we go through hard times and we don't vocalize it. And then we feel like we're on an island of our own, and it's just not true. So, if you're feeling down in the dumps, if you're struggling with something, how can you help somebody else? How can you help somebody else get through it or get through their hard time? Because sometimes we think, woe is me, life sucks, life is so hard. And then we see what other people are going through and we're like, oh, dang, they really do have a hard time. They really do have it worse than me. Maybe my life isn't so bad, but that comes from helping other people. And then it can open up new things, open up new levels for you, right? So where in your life are you helping other people? Or maybe the better question is, where in your life are you struggling? And then how can you use that to help somebody else? Let's take a page out of Sherri-Lynn's playbook, right? Let's put this out to the world and let other people help us. And we're also going to help other people get through it. So the people she had on her show, she's letting them help her get through it. But then also she's helping the listener, right? So you don't have to create a podcast. Just do something to help somebody else and it will get you out of your own head. Okay, number 2, Sherri-Lynn was good at finding new friends. Here's the thing. As we get older, it seems like it's harder and harder to make new friends. Or we might think, I'm too old for this. I don't need to put myself out there anymore. I should already have all this taken care of. Well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. We still have to keep putting ourselves out there. And Sherri-Lynn talked about when she became a boss and then people started treating her differently. Or she wasn't invited to do things or go places. And she's like, well, I realized you can't be a boss and a friend. And so she had to change the dynamic. And then also in another situation at work, people weren't inviting her to go out. They weren't inviting her to do the fun things like go for drinks after work. She's like, what's going on here? And somebody's like, that's because you're too old. They're all just getting out of college and you're almost 40. So of course they're not going to invite you out. And she's like, oh. So she figured out a new way to do things. Now I'm going to start volunteering at charities. And so that's what she did. She found a new way to meet new people. And she's like, if you're going out of country, you can do that too. Start volunteering. And that's a good way to meet good people. So are you meeting new friends? Or are you telling yourself you're too old? Where can you volunteer? In this day and age, man, the opportunities are endless. Even if you don't want to leave your house, right? You just want to meet new people, meet new friends. Well, guess what? There's like meetup.com. There's Facebook groups. And so there are plenty of ways to meet people. If you're not meeting new friends, that's on you. You got to take steps, even though it's uncomfortable. Believe me, introvert here. It's so uncomfortable to meet new people and step out of your comfort zone. But that doesn't mean it's not necessary. It's good to meet new people. It's good to talk to different people and to expand your horizons. So if things aren't working out for you, if you don't feel like you have enough friends, start putting yourself out there. Start volunteering or joining these different groups, right? You can meet new people. You can have more friends, but sometimes you just have to take the smallest of action to get there. Okay, the third reason why Sherri-Lynne is so badass is because of her self-reliance. Throughout her life, it seems she was self-reliant. Her parents kind of raised her to be unique, to be assertive, to make decisions on her own. And so that gave her a boost of confidence. And even if your parents didn't raise you that way, you can still do this. You can start right now. Start practicing being assertive, right? Saying things a little bit more than you would otherwise. And it doesn't mean you have to be aggressive, but you can still assert how you feel. Sherri-Lynne was great at defying societal expectations. She didn't have to do what everybody else wanted her to do because she knew that stuff wouldn't make her happy. And so an example is at work. She wasn't liking her job, right? She's like, this just isn't for me. So she became an entrepreneur. She did something on her own way, because she was self-reliant. She didn't need everybody else's help, or she didn't need to do what everybody else around her did. She worked for herself because that's what worked for her. She said, I find I'm happier when I'm working for myself. So what makes you happier? Are you doing it because you want to do it or because you think it's what society wants? And sometimes it's like, oh, it's what I'm supposed to do. Really? Who said? It's maybe we need to check that voice. We need to see why are we supposed to do it? Why do we really need to do it? Even if your family and friends think you should do it, doesn't mean it's right for you. Another thing for Sherri-Lynne and her self-reliance is her willingness to travel out of country alone. Man, that seems terrifying, right? But she did it. And then she learned a lot about herself. She said some of it just came down to luck, right? Because she had to ask a lot of strangers for help, but she did it. And then after that, that gives you confidence. When you travel alone or you do something that seems scary, but you get through it, it's like that gives you more and more confidence because you have to rely on yourself to get through it. Yeah, there's other people, strangers and stuff that helped her along the way, but I bet she really built up her self-resilience. She really built up her confidence in herself. So, when have you traveled alone? Have you ever? Something I like to say is like, say going camping. You want to go camping alone, but you don't feel comfortable with it. Guess what? Go with a friend. Be in different campsites, right? Be a couple campsites apart. So at least you have a little bit of space there. So start with that, going on a camping trip or a trip where you're just separate from somebody. And maybe you just do a couple things or a day together. And then you're like, okay, we're gonna also have our private time, right? So it could start with small steps. It doesn't have to be all overnight. It could be scary, yes. And a lot of times it is scary until you do it. I remember the first time I went camping alone, I started crying because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so lonely. Well, guess what? That was a one moment thing. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, you can do this. You don't need other people. And so then it felt good. And I really got in touch with myself and what I wanted. So sometimes you have to do the hard thing. Maybe you do get a little emotional. Maybe you make a mistake and you stumble. That's okay. You build up this resilience by doing hard things. Okay, quick recap. 3 reasons why Sherri-Lynne is so badass is because she used her struggle to help others. The second reason is for finding new friends. And number 3 is for her self-resilience. With that, we'll end the show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.